Well, hello, and welcome back to Cozy Couch Corner for another episode of Tea and Tarot. Cheers. Don't know, I'm struggling to speak. I was fine. I was. A nice hot cup of tea. Oh, I don't know how hot. I didn't test it. Oh, I think it's a bit hot. Oh, that's definitely a sippy one and not a gulpy one. Right. Had some. Oh, what's the word? I'm going with inspiration because I can't think of the right word just now. While I was doing the washing up, I was thinking about things, and it sort of there's a couple of bits there, and then something else happened. So the Epstein files, if you know anything about what's going on in the US, that is one of the dominoes, and it's a big domino, and I've seen little dominoes going up to it, and that is the first big domino to fall. And then there's more dominoes. And that goes back to some readings or some channelings. I think it was tarot readings I've done before. And I couldn't tell you exactly what I said, but it would have been that there was a whole load of dominoes set up and they were just waiting for the first one to fall. And there was other little dominoes, but I think they all had to fall before you could push the big one over. Like a little one on its own wasn't going to push it. So this is the first big one to go, and that should set off a chain of events. So there'll be other dominoes falling. The dominoes have to do with systems of power. Now I make the mistake sometimes of talking about politics, of saying political powers. That's it, that's what I say. And it's not that, because they're not the only, it's not that they're not a system, they're part of the system of power, aren't they? They're part of a system of power, but it's about the system of power rather than just the sort of political sphere. I went, oh, I don't know where I went then. In my head somewhere. Right. But yeah, so sometimes I've talked about things in a political sphere, and it's not necessarily, it's more than that. It's the system of power includes politics, but is not at all limited to politics. Right. So I did those. I had to take notes, because I thought by the time I sit down and do it, because I have had to do the bins in the rain in between, I'll have forgotten. And this is the afternoon. It's still early afternoon, but it's been wet and cold and bleh all day and grey. So I'm trying to get this in again before the light goes. I couldn't do it this morning. I was waiting for a delivery. And then I just feel like I can't stop and do this because I'm anxious about when the delivery is going to turn up. And it did actually keep getting, the expected time did keep getting earlier. So it's a good job I just. So the other thing was, I don't know if my nose is still red. Before I did this, I decided to put my nose ring back in. And I couldn't get it in the right place. I wasn't looking in the mirror, and I was trying to do it by feel, which is how I normally do it. I just stick it on my nose and it goes in, pretty much most of the time. I could not get it to go in, and I was trying, and every time I went to check, it was in a different place. So what that's talking about, that I'm going to call it a metaphor for I've got sign rather than metaphor. Okay, sign is that if we're in the right place, and the place doesn't necessarily mean geographical, if we're in the right place, then things feel easy, they feel aligned, we don't feel like we're pushing. If we're in the wrong place, and that could be the wrong situation, or a goal. No, I've got told not goal. The wrong geographical place, or the wrong situation, or the wrong circumstance, or the wrong people. I've got a big one on the wrong people. We're pushing and pushing and pushing, and we're not getting anywhere. And again, we're probably hurting ourselves while we're pushing, but we're not getting anywhere. And when we do get the right place, the right people, the right situation, the right circus, whatever, it's just easy. Poof, done. No pain, no pushing. So that was just a random thing that came up. But when I get more random things, I shall write them down so that I can talk about them. I don't know what we're going to have left to do in a tarot reading, I tell you. I don't know, because we've got all that out, haven't we? Right, I will do the tarot reading. I did say I was going to have we're having a tarot reading as well as all those just nuggets of information. So, interesting. Right, okay. Oh, I've got to find the energy now. Where are we? Okay, I can see you. Well, I can't actually see it. I can feel it. I don't know why I said I can see it. I am aware of it. Right. Honestly, I'm only on tea. I feel like I'm having a funny one today, I tell you. I'm looking red in the face like I've been drinking alcohol and I haven't. I have been out in the weather. Yeah. Oh, my jogging trousers I'm wearing, because they're under a skirt, I've got several layers on. They were too long, and I ended up treading on them in the wet. So then I've got soggy ankles. Not that you want to know that, but anyway. It's like that, right? Let's get okay. I'll get back to you. Yeah, you're still there. Oh dear. Right. What good news do you have for us for Monday, the 2nd of February, 2026, please? Oh, I hope you all had a good weekend. Best as you can. Oh dear, sniffly snuffly. Right, am I having any of those that are sticking up? No. Am I having that one? This way up. That way up. Upside down, 9 of Cups. And I've just got... You're going to say feeling... Yeah. Feeling like we haven't got any choices. I'll see if we've got any more cards. Feeling like we don't have choices. Right. Okay. Do you want this top one? Do you want this bottom one? Do you want it this way up? No, I want it this way up. 9 of Wands. Reversed. I have no idea where we're going with this. Sometimes I have an idea. And right, do I want this one? Do I want this one? I want this one. I want the second one. Right. Do I want it this way up? No. God, it's all reversals. Are they all supposed to be reversed? Yes. 2 of Swords. Reversed. They're all reversed. If I get cold, I'm putting my hat back on. That's about the right temperature now for my tea. Right, blimey, where do you want me to start? With the 9 of Wands. I've got escaping the horrors. Have we escaped the horrors? Yes, and maybe. So I'm asking questions in my head, and I'm getting that. to my question. So I haven't found the right question yet. So you got anything to do with the I can't remember the name. It's the house that's a chicken. Um, and it was a woman. Was it a witch's house? Oh, I can't remember, and I can't remember the woman's name either, which isn't helpful, is it? What is it about? What is it about a house that's moving? People aren't moving. Something's moving. Something's moving in the background that we can't see it. Okay, we might be able to. It's not clear. We might be able to see it, but it's not clear. Do we know what's moving in the background? Energy is one of the things that's moving in the background. We know that the energies are shifting. A lot of us can feel the energies shifting. And we can see with what's happening in the world that the energies are shifting. And then there's all, I'm not even going to attempt to remember what the astrology is, but that the astrologies we're shifting from this and into that, and that's about as specific as I can get. So something's moving in the background for the better, or at least for the betterment at some point. Which one do you want me to do next? You want me to do the Two of Swords, because I was going to the other one. The Two of Swords upright is normally stuck between a rock and a hard place. So we're not stuck. That's a no. And now, are we stuck? No. So sometimes if I do a negative and I get a no, I don't know if it whether it's that I'm wrong no or the I agree with you, you're right no. Anyway, so we're not stuck. I've done it again, haven't I? We're not stuck. Do we feel like we're stuck? We feel like we're stuck. Some of us feel like we're stuck in whatever situation. There's a lot of things happening in the world and it's easy to feel helpless. So you might feel like we're stuck, but we're not actually stuck. I've got walking through the flames. And is that I was going to say rage, and I'm getting yes, anger, feelings of injustice. So it's passion that all swells. I don't know. From passion. So we're not, because we needed to get angry. We've been so many people in society have been far too placid and apathetic for so long, and that's not a criticism. I know it sounds like a criticism, but people were lulled into a false sense of, I'm going to say civility, of security, of when you don't see half of the things that are going on, you don't know what's going on, and you just see the surface level, which looks perfectly normal. So the big shake-ups come, and people talk about the Great Awakening, don't they? It's things have become so blatantly obvious and so in people's faces. There will still be some people that deny them, but they're so blatantly obvious and in people's faces they can't deny them, and they know. And it's going to feel uncomfortable. Somebody was saying today, get used to feeling uncomfortable. It's meant to. It's shaking the whole thing up. But it's that passion for justice and that anger and rage. I'm still getting rage that's going to get us through, because the whole crumbs I was going to say the whole system needs changing, and I'm getting overthrow. I can't comment on where that might be or how or anything else because I don't know, and I'm probably not going to ask, and they're not going to tell me anyway. But it will be the rage of the people. So many people feeling helpless at the moment, and there's a lot of stuff online actually to help people. This is what you can do. This is what you can do. If you don't want to get involved in X, you can do Y, and I don't mean X the app, just A. If you don't want to get involved in A, you can do B. You can do C. There's little things you can do to support what you can to get justice, and about what's going on. And it's not just one country, to be honest. All you have to do is scratch the surface, and it's blimey, and that's what's happening. There's been a veneer on things, and the veneer's come off, or it's coming off. It's come off very obviously in some places, and not so obviously in other places. But we're going to get away from feeling helpless because the rage is going to rise. That's that one then. Right. Okay. What are we doing with the Nine of Cups then? Because that's talking about lack of choice. Is that we've been pushed to the point that there's not really a lot of choice because we're just not going to sit down and take it anymore? Yeah. Too many people have been cornered, metaphorically, symbolically, whatever. And there is the only choice is to fight back in whatever sphere that is, because there's justice systems, there's what's the one people are doing? Stop buying the stop the consumerism for however long, to really get at the big money players and stuff. And there's all sorts of other things, deleting apps. So people have got to the point in an awful lot of places, and we've seen it kick off in certain countries around the globe, where people have had enough, and their only choice is to rise up and fight back. I don't mean that's not necessarily physically. In some cases it is. But we're at the point now where we can't just pretend things aren't happening. And we can't just let life go on as it's been going on. Because it might not have hurt us, but we're more aware of how it's been hurting other people and how I don't want to say it. It could just as easily be us now. The way some systems have gone, that there is not a care for life from some political arenas, from you've got things like drug companies, and I'm not gonna it's an illness industry, not a wellness industry, and I won't go into details, but there's also it's money, isn't it? Look at our food systems, especially in the UK. It's how can we make it for the cheapest cost possible to get as much profit as possible while destroying the countryside and polluting everything and spraying it with chemicals and putting chemicals in it and putting the cheapest ingredients we can in it, and not thinking about health, not thinking about the environment, not thinking about climate, not thinking about health. and safety. And now you've got all this AI. There is a water shortage in the world. I mean, we've got plenty here in Wales. I tell you, we ought to export it. But there's a lot of places where there's just no water, and they're destroying the water that was under the. I can't really explain it. It's got to the point where some systems won't recover. They think, but I know that Mother Earth, nature, would probably, without human intervention, put everything back right. Eventually, don't know how long it would take. But AI centres, AI data centres, using a ridiculous amount of water when there's not enough water to go around. So there's stuff like that. It's. I don't think we realised how much the systems of power didn't care. And that's the one big thing that's coming out now. I don't know what to say now. That's actually encouraging. I've got this fight. Right, on that note then, there we are.